I'm proud to be a duck, and I'd be proud to fly with any one of you. So how about it? Who's a duck?
I'll be a duck. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here with the first episode of Mega Throwback Mixer. And yes, guys, after giving it some time, I finally decided to know what movie to start off with. And I just thought of it thanks to a sequel trilogy it used to have, starting with the original trilogy of a franchise known as the Mighty Ducks. Yes, guys, and I only have to thank Mighty Ducks Game Changer for that, because I haven't watched that movie in so long that I was glad I came back to it. What nostalgia it brought me back. This movie here, this franchise, showed me everything it was to know about the importance of teamwork, and if you love to play sports, play for the fun of it. Sure, if you win or you lose, that happens, but you learn something from both of them. And yeah, let's say even if you want a career in it, yeah, you gotta rack up some wins, show that you're a good player and stuff. At the same time, don't lose your passion and love for what you love to do. And that's not just with sports, that's with anything in life. Because trust me, as you get older and stuff, you sometimes tend to forget why you did some of this stuff in the first place. I've been guilty of that myself. I kind of still am, even to this day, working on remembering that I love to do this because I love it, not because of some other stuff like wanting achievements and whatnot. Now, if I make achievements, great, but still, make sure you do this because you love it. And yeah, that's one of the things that movie can always bring back to me. But another thing it can bring to me, now that I look at it as an adult, is to show you how much being an adult can change you in so many ways. Just like it did with this main character, Gordon Bombay, who, as we saw in the beginning of this movie, was a kid and it was being coached by a coach named Coach Riley, who was just all about winning. And if you lose, you let your team down. Put a lot of pressure on the kid here, because in the end, he ended up losing a penalty shot, and his team, the Hawks, didn't win a championship, and that stuck with him for life, because even his coach Riley blamed him for that loss all those years. And that, in the end, turned him into not really a great person as an adult, as he became a lawyer, and he was all about wins, no matter what, even in pulling some like shrewd shenanigans and whatnot. But in the end, fortune would favor him in a very twisted way, might I add. That's where it could go into this. It was a blessing in disguise, as he ended up getting arrested and he had to do some community service, 500 hours of it, by coaching a team called District 5. And when you know it, that it was that blessing in disguise that helped him revisit his past, to help him see who he was, what he was trying to avoid but couldn't avoid, as it came back to him, because it needed to help him, and realizing what he used to be back then compared to who he is now. That's another good thing this movie can teach you. It's good to revisit the past, to know who you are now and what you can regain from what you lost in your childhood. Because at first, he was not doing well with these kids at all, especially this one kid named Charlie, putting a lot of pressure on this kid, trying to make him cheat. But Charlie was like, screw you. I'd rather lose fairly than try to cheat by any means necessary. That's just screwed up stuff. But luckily, like I said, this was good for Bombay, as it allowed him to revisit an old friend of his that reminded him of all the important stuff I just mentioned. Because this is what helped him resurface what he lost as a kid. Because it wasn't just the loss that he had when he failed that coach. It was also the fact that he lost something else, someone important to him. But yes, good thing in the end, he remembered that, and then he became a better person and started to be a much better coach, as he helped these kids become much better players, especially this goalie by the name of Goldberg. This kid was scared of a puck, that he would even freely in the game just let them have it, let them take the goal, shoot it out. Boy, but Bombay, what a brilliant man he was by teaching him how to conquer his fears, tying him up to that goalie stuff. Oh, was so funny. And then there are, of course, other players who have a lot of roles in this one. This one character, Fulton Reeds, this kid is like pretty much always in an alley, and you just look at him and he just has this aura around him, say, bad news, boy, bad news. But it has a good side to him as well. And you end up finding out he can really know how to shoot some pucks, as he became the slap shot / enforcer of the Ducks later on in the movie. And then, of course, there's a star player who is at first a Hawk, but ends up becoming a Duck by the name of Adam Banks. And this is all due to some district stuff and everything. I was about to say nonsense, but it's not nonsense. Basically, it's just me not wanting to go into full details, because for some of y'all who haven't seen the movie, I want you guys to go in there and see the movie yourselves. That's why I'm only revealing a little of it, and somewhat of a non-spoiler way. Maybe mild spoiler, but you'll know it all when you see it. But nevertheless, though, this kid Adam Banks joined the Ducks, and yeah, if you can believe it or not, the Ducks weren't very welcoming him at first. But don't worry, they all worked that out in the end, and eventually it all goes into a championship between the Ducks versus the Hawks, as Gordon Bombay works to pay his old coach back and get revenge and show him that his way, not his old coach's way, is the way to go, the way to play. And guys, this was a great way to show it, because out throughout, no matter how hard they were being hit, the Ducks fought through, thanks to Gordon Bombay's coaching, and to taking the kid Charlie Conway under his wing and teaching him how to play. And in the end, this kid helps them get the goal to take the win and take the championships. But funny how when they became the Ducks, at first, like I said, they were District 5, but they became the Ducks later, and they were all against the Ducks. They were thinking Ducks are weak, they don't have teeth, which is typical, because that's what kids think of. They think of some of these smaller animals as not being all that threatening and stuff, and are wimpy, this and that and this. Another thing this movie can teach you is how we as kids and kids these days are just like that. Mischief and all that other stuff. But hey, kids are kids. We can't say we weren't all the same when we were that age, because we really were. But nevertheless, guys, I loved revisiting this movie, as I'm about to revisit the other two movies, and after which I'll give you my ranking of them, because it might not be the ranking some of y'all might think, but nevertheless, I am so grateful that I started off with this franchise as I go into D2, D3, and I'll be making sure to also give you guys my review on the Mighty Ducks Game Changer, the sequel TV series that came after the trilogy of the original franchise. But if you guys have not yet seen the Mighty Ducks, I recommend going and seeing it. And on a personal note here, I like this movie not for the hockey, because I'm not really big on hockey. It's not that I'm not a fan of it. I just didn't really be around it as a kid. Even still, though, like I said, there was more to it than hockey. It helped you learn everything else about teams, sports, the fun, everything else that goes in with sports like that. And before I leave, also, one more thing to say. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there in the world, and the soon-to-be fathers out there in the world. I hope you've been having a great day. But until then, guys, this will be all for the first episode of Mega Throwback Mixer. And if you're enjoying my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!